Hey everybody, I am back with another celebrity at your request. We're going to take a look at this whole situation, Armie and Timothy, and see what we can get, see what type of energies we can pick up. Um, so I got some energies here on Armie. I have some energies here on Armie's wife or ex-wife. Then I have some energies here on Timothy. And I got how Armie feels about Timothy and how Timothy feels about Armie. Well, I'll tell you one thing. This thing is definitely spiraling down. This whole entire situation is spiraling down. It was at a height. It was at the Three of Cups. It was at this level of celebration. It was at this level of, hey, we all get along. It was at this level of having barbecues together and grilled salmon. This was at a higher height at a certain point of time. And those cups got knocked over. All of them got knocked over. So everybody is having a serious stance in this situation. And I even pulled an oracle to give us some insight about this situation. And it's all about trust. And you usually get that oracle of trust when you know that things is about to not only work out, but come full circle. Like there is a meaning to this. There is an understanding that's needed to this. There is a lesson. It's coming to a head. It's coming to a point where this chapter is able to close. Now, today is not the day. This chapter is not closing anytime too soon, but it's set up to close. This is not a never-ending situation. This is not a fantasy or a fairy tale. This thing will have an ending. There's an ending scene. I just saw the end. There is a scene where this ends. Everybody is feeling some kind of way. Everybody is feeling affected. And it feels like everybody is fighting for their life. Armie, the ex-wife or wife, and even Timothy. It's like everybody is fighting for their life and fighting from their area, their corner. It feels like a case, like one big lawsuit, and everybody is fighting from their different areas and from different motives. I get Armie and so much ego coming from ego, coming from a me, I, selfish place with reasons. Because I can hear that, like, yeah, I'm fighting for me. Yes, this is about me. And yes, I'm doing it for me. And here's my reason. That's how that feels. I even have the wife here with her stance. And it's all about her heart. Because my heart was treated this way. And because my heart was deceived. And because my heart was overlooked. Her stance and her corner is all about the heart. Like, I'm fighting for my heart because of my heart. And I want justice because of my heart. Yeah. And it's very, very deep too. Woman scorned, feeling played and abused. Because remember, all three of them was a part of the Three of Cups. They were all together at some point. Enjoying each other and having fun together. They were a mini family. And then things just took a turn. Even for Timothy, I have him in his corner. And he's fighting too. Fighting from a place of regret. There's a regret, there's a guilt on him from his corner. And I guess the other corner would be the truth. Or the other corner would be justice. Just all square. Justice would be at the bottom corner left. So So everybody is taking their different positions in this one situation, and the situation in the middle is everybody is fighting for or needs to understand trust. So we can look deeper into that trust, because that's what's in the center of the square. It's trust. Someone broke trust. Someone definitely broken the trust. There was a game plan. There was an understanding. There was rules. There was boundaries. It was a family code. It was them saying cheers and hitting glasses together. They all had an understanding. And someone got away from that. You can feel it. I can see the dinners of laughter and joy and fun and hugs and even kisses on the cheeks for all three. They were celebrating this level of life, or a level of life, and thankful to each other. So trust is in the middle of the square. And that's what it's all about. Within themselves, within each other, and even with the entire process. So let's look a little deeper into this trust. I felt a lot of self-destruction on Armie as well. I felt some self-destruct. I felt a little manic type feeling over there. Yeah, just wanted to put that out there. So let's see. Why do I feel like more people is involved in this and they are the only spokesperson? I feel like it's more. Like it's definitely some triangles and circles on the side. But this is the square. That's how that feels. I don't have this ending anytime soon. There is still some work to be done in this situation. I don't know what it looks like practically to you all and physically, but spiritually, it's not finished yet. It's a lot of trust that's needed. That's the only way they're all going to get back grounded again. Trust in the process. There is some trust that is needed. That everything is going to be what it needs to be, and everything is going to come to a head. And it almost feels like they got to trust that they have to be away from each other too. This abandonment, this isolation is for the good. And I got them holding on to the moment when things was great. Promises, broken promises, things like that. They're not as angry as I thought they would be. No, they're not. Not even her. Doesn't feel as angry. And it doesn't feel like they are the only ones a part of this. Okay. They didn't give us much. That trust card just let us know that you was not in a situation for nothing. There's purpose around this. It's going to come to a head, but today is not the day. And abandoning each other is a part of the process. But usually when you see abandoning, when you have that card here, it just makes me feel like a reconciliation can come. Why is it here? It's just something about that. Someone is reconciling. When I see that, someone is reconciling. You never have to announce you're done with someone. You're not done. So it's just something about this. Why do everyone need to know that you must abandon each other? It's just something weird about that. Someone most likely is coming out of that abandonment. Let's see what they all still holding on tight to. This is a bitter situation. Unbalanced. Yeah. all holding on tight to how this ends. It really feels like everybody is looking at everybody to see what someone may say. It's so amazing because I just got through finishing a series, and I know I'm late, of How to Get Away with Murder. And everybody was in their own rooms telling a story, hoping that the other person was not telling the real story. And that's how this feels. That's why justice is in the corner. That's why it's in the corner. Square, they all got their corners, and then justice is on the end, because everybody is hoping that the other person don't say anything too much. Everybody is holding on tight to this temperance, this patience, this Sagittarius energy, hoping that everyone keeps something according to the promise. Yeah, because there's trust issues here. Someone got jealous. Someone got affected or offended. Definitely. Okay? So that's what's on the table. Trusting this process to come to an end, to come to a head. They have abandoned each other, but holding on tight to the point that everything goes the way it needs to go, and certain things are kept the way they were supposed to be kept. Trusting in each other will keep secrets or keep a vow according to what that Three of Cups was all about in the past when things was high. Whatever they celebrated to, whatever they clicked the glasses to, they're hoping that everybody keep that stance. Because as things spiral down, there's a lot of fear here. Not surprising. Let's look into Armie. Armie had to make some serious decisions here. Made some decisions. And that's what caused a lot of the issues for him. He makes me feel like he had no choice. He had decided something and became a part of something, maybe even outside of them, that may have started the changes and everything. But something definitely happened. Let's see. I also see him offering something too. Got a secretive feeling around that. Let me try again. Okay. Got him tired. I have him feeling like he's been overworked. I got him making a decision to quit, making a decision to rest, making a decision to get back aligned with himself. Someone's jealous of him. Yeah, I have this jealous feeling, needing to understand the truths in this situation, feeling like there's secrets around him, heavy burden, a shame. Feeling like he's being treated unfairly. Got heavy burdens here. Being conflicted within himself. It's not depression. It's just confusion and frustration and anger. Feeling like he was taken advantage of in some kind of way. I have a Pisces here too that could be a part of this conflict. And I have a lot of shame and guilt. Almost feeling like he was set up in some kind of way. Needing to make some decisions. I see an impulse decision here that he may be thinking about making right now. I have him trying to prove a point. Trying to prove his own point. He wants his life back. He wants to be back connected to purpose, prosperity. And I also, okay, so there's a back and forth here. The situation that he is in has brought so much shame and guilt and frustration and anger. He believes that he was taken advantage of. He believed that there is lies going on, maybe lies about him. He's not surprised about the situation that he's in. I have him wanting to take an impulse decision to fix this matter, to get back connected to the promises, back to his elevation, life. And I also have him going back and forth with quitting altogether. So he's at a crossroad, even though that crossroad is not here on the table, but he's getting close to making a decision. He's almost at the fork of the road where he has to figure out if he wants to accept what's going on today and try to go through it, or do he want to fight against what's going on today and get back to a past place that he was in. So definitely some issues here. This is the aftermath of a certain situation he's been dealing with. And that's all that's going on right now in his head. How do we make this decision? Feeling emotionally disconnected. Very frustrated with a water sign. Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. Feeling conflicted about this crossroad that he's entering into. And needing to know how to do this. Trying to walk away from the situation and also trying to fight it. I just feel like he needs to be honest about something. There's an honesty here that I feel that he needs to do. It kind of feel like I want to say just admit you're wrong. It feels like he may have been improper, incorrect. Feels like he does not want to accept and tell his truths. Let's see what he needs to be honest about. It seems very important to me. Like he needs to just say, yes, I did it, I am, and then move forward from there. Living in the secrets and the confusion is causing the most issues for him mentally. So let's see. What does he need to be honest about? What is this honesty here that is needed? Honest about himself. Honest about his mistakes, honest about his faults, needing to speak. He needs to be honest about the power that he used. Now that's abuse. It's an abuse of power. He's really done something. There's an abuse of power here that he needs to be honest about and that he needs to walk away from and never go back to again. An abuse of power. Yeah. Almost feels criminal to me. It really does. But there's an abuse of power that has made him very unstable, and it was very unfair to him and others. An abuse of power, needing to walk away from that. And that's what'll give him a breakthrough. An abuse of power. This can be cheating. This could be betrayal. This can be something criminal, a criminal activity. It can be anything, to be honest. But there's an abuse of power that he needs to be honest about. He needs to walk away from that with the Eight of Cups. And he needs to free himself so he can get back to this Two of Cups and not return to it again. There's something that he never needs to return to. A behavior, a person, an action, an act. Something that does not need to happen again. And that's what he needs to be honest about. And we just got the Page of Wands. There's a confession that is needed. There's a confession when it comes to Armie. So let's do a summary of that and see where we need to go. He's dealing with secrets. He's dealing with lies from himself. He's feeling like he's being taken advantage of. He's back and forth with the decision to fight the actions or to release it and move forward. having issues with water energy, needing to make or wanting to make an impulse decision. He needs to be honest about this abuse of power, needing to walk away from it and get back to his journey. He does not need to reconcile or go back to this previous behavior. And he needs to confess it. There's a confession here that needs to happen. Let's see what this confession is, or the energy surrounding this confession. Yeah, something that he needs to prove or confess that he will never do again. With the Fool in reverse, he needs to make that decision. Will he make that decision? That's the question. So these are just all thoughts. This is conviction. But let's see if he will confess it. Only if he wants growth. Doing it for growth. I don't see him confessing this anytime too soon. And that's the hang up. So I'm surprised the hangman did not come out for Armie. But he is in a hung situation. I just heard hung juror. The jurors. I don't know, I just heard that. Something about the jury. The juror. Feel like a court case. I don't have him confessing anytime soon. But that's where the demons lie at. It's all in the conviction. It's all in the confession. If he can make this confession, then he can get back to his journey, which is, let's see what this Two of Cups is all about. Get back to his journey, get back to purpose, and maybe even get to his soulmate. So let's see what this Two of Cups is all about. No, that's him. Getting back to himself. Getting back to his authentic self, his true self. Getting back to a place where there's peace in him. Definitely a place of less confusion. Yeah, closing chapters. Yeah, there's a confession that is needed to get back to who he truly is and what he's truly here for. Yeah, there's an abuse of power here. So if he is being accused of something, if you guys are wondering if he did something, or if he did something that was unethical, something, whatever it is around his situation, the answer is yes, he did it. He did it. He's been doing it. He has an abuse of power here, and there needs to be a confession. And the guilt and the conviction of this situation is really affecting him to a point where he's going to get to this Two of Wands stage and have no choice but to make a decision. And the best decision is confession with the Page of Wands to get back to the Two of Cups, which is his self first, and then maybe even a soulmate later. So let's look in to see who Armie soulmate is, and see if we can get any energies around his soulmate. And what is his soulmate doing at this time? And the reason why we want to look at that, because that's what's on the table. That's the thing that's here on the opposite side of what he's going through today. He has a way of escape. He has a way out of this situation. He just needs to knock the ego off. Just knock it off and get to the good part of his life, which can also be the best part of his life. So let's look into his soulmate. What is your soulmate doing? Let's see. Yeah, I don't have him connected to a soulmate at this time. His soulmate is waiting for him. Waiting for him to complete his lessons. Waiting for him to make it to the other side. It's like he needs to climb the wall to get there. But it's a wall of integrity that he needs to climb to make it over there. Soulmate possible earth sign. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Also may be a fire sign. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Yeah. Integrity. Before he can even see what this soulmate looks like. Before he can even get to the other side. There's an attraction towards him and his soulmate, but he's abandoning the process. So we can't even get energies of them. I just have this fire sign and this earth sign on the other side of the wall, but I don't have a connector there. And it's all because he is abandoning the process to get to the soulmate. Yeah. So they're not up in front as of right now. And Destiny Star Aquarius is in reverse. Yeah, can't get over there. So what they are doing, most likely his soulmate is living out their journey, living their own lessons. I don't have them waiting for him. And the manifestation is not there. It's not attraction there. It's just two different sides. Being on two different sides of the world, of the wall, of the fence. Yeah, so that's what we have here. We are waiting for his arrival. Yeah. So let's see how Armie feels about his wife or ex-wife. She came up a couple times in my spirit as being very bitter and almost like wanting to be served or wanting justice and not quite revenge, but wanting to get what she deserves. I want to see how he feels about her. She could be the answer to everything. The person behind the issues. Yeah. He wants to take action towards her. He wants to communicate with her. He wants a confession out of her. And you know, this is really strange, and it kind of makes sense because when I do Armie's energies, he needs to confess to the atmosphere, and I got him wanting her to confess to him. Confess what? What is this confession? What confession do you want out of your wife? So the things that he needs to do, he wants it from other people. What is the confession? He wants her to bring truth to a situation. Truth. Oh, okay, so that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so she won't be doing that. She won't be doing any confession as he desire and as he want her to. However, listen to this. He is passionate about speaking with her and communicating with her because he wants this confession out of her. He wants her to bring truth. He wants her to bring light and clarity to whatever their situation is. And when you go into the clarifications of what type of truth do he wants her to bring, he wants her to tell truths about the burdens. So that's kind of twisted a little bit if you think about it. Because the truth is, there was a lot of burdens. A lot of heartbreak and pain and even betrayal between the two of them. But he wants her to tell the truth about the betrayal as if it wasn't that bad. As if he was not as bad as people think. He wants her to paint a picture that I was the best person I can be during the burdens. I was the best person I could be during the pain I caused you. And that is manipulative. Very manipulative. It's almost saying that I wasn't all bad. Shed light on my good during my bad. And now can you see why the journey for him is kind of off right now? Because this all makes sense. This combines together now. There's a truth. There's abuse of power that he is guilty of. And he won't confess it within himself into the atmosphere. And it's needed for him to get back to the Two of Cups. And when you dig into the Two of Cups, it's his authentic self. Then maybe we can see the energies of the soulmate after that, which is on the other side of the wall. But instead of him doing the work that is needed for himself, he's putting pressure on. We can go with the word victim for right now, just based on what I see. He want to put pressure on the victim here, his wife, and tell the victim to explain the story in a better way about the Burtons for me, for himself. So what? He can be back in the grace of the people, the fans. He wants to be back in grace, back in prosperity, back to the elevation, back to that moment of groundness. He wants to be back there so bad that he wants her to shed a light or paint a picture on top of the Burtons to show proof that he wasn't the biggest monster or the biggest beast, or he wasn't that wrong, or he didn't abuse the power too much. And this will be all a lie. This is one big lie. It's manipulation here and a lack of confession and lies. Horrible. Let's see if she will do that for him. No, she will not do that for him because she's trying to get justice for her heart. Her heart was a part of these Burtons, and she wants to get paid for her abuse. She wants to get paid for how she was treated. No and no. That's 2 no's. 3, no. 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 She's taking leadership. She's moving forward with the energy of Aries to say, no, you will pay, suffer, experience the consequence for this marriage. And for that to be here, it makes me feel like she has painted this picture before for him. And this time it stops here. She is not going to participate in this. Okay? Alrighty, so you got that information there. That's making sense. Now let's get to Timothy. Let's see how he feels about him and see where they are at today. As we can see, Armie definitely can use someone in his corner for support and for counsel at a time like this. So let's see what part Timothy plays in this season for him. The last thing he needs is an enabler. Last thing that he needs. Okay. Yeah, same thing. Same type of energies. Same thing. Being the magician, even towards Timothy, want to create a way that he can assist with his King of Pentacles. I don't know how he got into this situation, but I think it has a lot to do with the 3 of Cups. Let's see what he's trying to come up with. What formula are you trying to come up with? Yeah, he's not walking away from that. And this could be phone calls and texts and encouragement and asking for, this is an enabler. Yes, he wants him to be the enabler. Yeah, same cards as before. Okay, so he's looking for that comfort. He's looking for Timothy to side with him. He's trying to find a way that he can help him get better or get right or get back to where he was at so he can be that King of Pentacles again, because he's lacking in that area. This is another thing of manipulation, and we got a repeated pattern here. I don't have him walking away from him, not wanting to walk away. And maybe Timothy has walked away in some form because there's a pressure here. I have him pushing towards Timothy, like pushing, calling, initiating, and asking him not to quit on him and not to give up on him, fearing for losing the friendship or the connection. Let's see. Yeah, then I got this Pisces back again. Secrets, confusion. Yeah, trying to figure out a hangman. Okay, trying to figure out a way to keep him hooked. He has lost his power in Ten of Swords. He has lost his power that he used to have with both of them. With both of them. Both of them. So if I can put the conversation into my own type of talking, he's saying to his wife, hey, you need to go to the press. You need to go to the press and let them know all the good I did for you. And let them know how the burdens were not like you say they were. Same thing for Timothy. Don't leave me at a moment like this. Don't shut down on me. Don't walk away. Stay by my side. Help me close these chapters. Help me feel great again. I need your support. Desiring him to enable him. Now let's see how Timothy energies are for Armie. And then I think we can get a conclusion right there. So if you wanted to know how he's doing, Armie's doing. He has a while ago. He's fighting through the truth right now. Let's see what Timothy is doing in this situation towards him. One more time. He's falling back. He's falling back. He's falling back. Timothy has seen something in Armie, and he has lost trust for him. He's falling back. This Ace of Cups is in reverse, saying, I recognize your heart. I recognize your spirit. I recognize your actions. I recognize something in you. Timothy has recognized something in Armie, and he doesn't want to connect to that. He realized something about him. He wasn't loyal. He wasn't committed. And there was some truths. I think Timothy came out of denial, or Timothy finally believes the truths about this abuse of power. Let's see what that means. Let's break it down a little bit. Yeah, have Timothy taken a rest from him. And this can just be needing a break. But he's definitely realizing things about Armie and this control, aggressiveness. Yeah, he understands that he wasn't as balanced and sharp as he thought. And he doesn't want to emotionally connect to him because he wants to protect himself and protect his feelings and protect his own energy. He don't want to be caught in the web anymore of needing to support and uplift him. As much as Armie feels strong, because it feels like a really strong energy on him, there's also a lot of weakness in him as well. And a neediness, needing someone to uplift him. He learned that he was not loyal. Let's see what this loyalty is about. Wow. Weakened. And let's see what this truth is about. Now I'll give you a summary of all of this. Got it. There's the Capricorn. Okay. So, if I can explain this in my own type of talking, this is what I just felt. This feels like a side chick that, excuse my language, but that's what it feels like. It feels like a side chick who was there for this husband, and this husband promised all these dreams to this side chick and seeing that he was going to leave his wife and be there for her. And then as soon as he do that, he doesn't keep his promises. It feels like the person who didn't get picked. It feels like the side chick that's scorned and frustrated and realized, oh, the truth of the matter was you wasn't going to give me that. You was not going to leave your higher friend and be with me to create a new beginning. It's like you left me out. It's like Timothy is saying, Armie, you said as soon as you get that out the way, that you was going to be able to feel that Ace of Cups. You was going to be able to have this Three of Pentacles with me. You told me this. You showed me this. You said this. You said once you get that matter taken care of, that you will be able to use that same Hierophant and bring it over to me. And have this new beginning to create. But it weakened. Because it was kind of a, I want to say a trick. How can I say this? Armie's disconnection from the wife wasn't as smooth as Armie pictured it to be. There's issues in the separation from the wife. And he could not even plan or predict that it will weigh him down this much with this Leo in reverse. With this strength here, broken. He did not know that he will be broken in the midst of leaving that Hierophant, leaving that commitment, leaving that covenant. He didn't know that it was going to affect him this much. And he did not know that things was going to come out about him. He did not know that the burdens was going to be put into the public and put on the table. He pictured the breakup to be so much smoother than this. For an easy transfer to be whatever Timothy expects him to be. Whatever that is. But it wasn't as smooth. And not only is it not that smooth, the wife, which is the portion of their Three of Cups, all of them, all three of them, she won't even help the situation to be smoother. Because if the wife makes the truth lighter and smoother, then this strength card can turn upright for him. And then he'll be able to use that energy to keep the promises that he gave before. So Timothy is seeing that, Armie, you are not who you say you were. And you told me those things wasn't true. And you told me that you would do this and you'll do that and you'll do this and it will be this way and that way. And it's not that way. Why? Because you broken? Because you are having a lack in your strength right now? There's an understanding that Timothy received through this process. And he doesn't want to be affected by it. And maybe that's why Armie's energies towards Timothy is all about the Magician. I have him in the Magician energy towards Timothy. Like, hey, answer the phone. It's going to be cool. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And it's going to happen. Give me more time. I got this mess I'm dealing with. This mess. It's just more excuses than before. And it almost feels like Timothy doesn't even want to be connected to the issues of Armie. Because he doesn't want that on him. So let's see the outcome for them two. What is the outcome and what is next? Okay. So we're going to do the outcome and to see what the next energies are for them two. Because it doesn't feel done. The relationship doesn't feel done at all. The connection is still there. It's just that there are some things that needs to come to a head. Yeah. No time too soon. Got this Three of Swords on them still. Got this Three of Swords on them still. This was a Three of Cups situation. Armie, Timothy, wife. This was almost like a family. Not almost. This was a family. This was a Three of Cups situation. This is a group of people who leaned on each other, who was proud of each other, who helped each other, who assist each other, who was all accepting of each other. But there were also secrets between two of them, which was Armie and the wife. They had a background. They had secrets. They had things that Timothy may have wondered and pondered or did not know at all. And with the breakdown of their relationship, the marriage, the exposure came as well. But I tell you one thing, I feel like Armie always planned to leave his wife. I feel like that was in his brain for a long time. And I do believe that Timothy knew that. But I think that Armie was shocked by how the breakdown went. And I believe that the wife does not want to play any games to coach him and help him this time. So that's what we have here. And as far as, I know you said he's having issues in social media. We can see how that will play out. But I don't think much is going to change when it comes to the fans and how they feel or how social media is dealing with this until confessions come out. So most likely everybody will just be making their own opinion and until something is confessed or proven even more. Yeah. Same thing. Continuance. They're going to continue to do this. This is the timing. Because that's what happens with us. And I'm done, but I'm going to digress for a moment. This is what happens when you get your messages or you do your own messages. This is what happens when you ignore things in life that needs to be completed. This is just what happens. And you get this time period. Some people get 7 years. Some people get 14 years. Some people get doubles and doubles of seasons of being allowed to be in the same situation, in the same pattern, moving around different physically, but spiritually still caught and connected to behaviors that just don't work well for their soul. And you get this time period to deal with it. And when you don't deal with it, that tower comes out and shows themselves. And a tower is not leaving until the job is done. It will come up. I mean, I can tell you, I did messages for someone, for a few I know of, and they had the tower for a year. A year. And would always come up in their life messages because it's there and it's going to pop. And it's just thankful for the grace that we get to deal with these things on our own. And here is the sun when it comes to how the social media will handle this and handle their situation. It's going to be continuous because this is the time. The tower has spoken. This is the moment. This is the time to get you unraveled, unhinged, to get you to deal what you need to deal with. And so that pressure leaning on his energy pushes him to look at this King of Swords. Like who you want to be. Look at what you need to look at. See what you need to see. So it's almost like what's happening in social media is helping him deal with the King of Swords that has been laying dormant inside of him for a while. It's pushing him to look at his truths. Why will all this be going on? Because when they divorce or separated, it seriously is a new beginning for him. That's why it's happening. This is the moment. These things do not happen in your life for nothing. When you leave one chapter of life and you are ready for a next one, and these things happen, It's because all of these things need to be shaken out, learned, and dealt with. Close out this wife completely so that you can get to the other side. There are so many places that we can get to in life if we let go of the past. But in letting go of the past, if there are some things that is not closed between the two of you, if there is not pardons, we go with a pardon. If there's not forgiveness, if there's not understanding, if there's not healing, if you cannot handle and complete the purpose of being in the past with that person, then you're going to have this middle room or this middle stage of a lot of this stuff going on that he's probably going through. You're going to have a stage where either you take that mess and carry it into the next relationship, next place in your life, or you're going to have a moment where it's going to constantly be exposed and communicated and hovering over you until you just deal with it. So he can take this into a grudging place and keep repeating this moment right here, or he can actually go through the page of wands and handle this thing and face this king of swords inside of his life and then have a whole new beginning, because he hasn't even made it to the next place yet. He hasn't made it to the next place, the next stage. He hasn't made it over the wall yet. He's still in the marriage with the same argument and with the same way of handling the argument. Do it for me. Do it for me. Make it right for me. Make it look right. Make it be right. Do it for me. There's still the aggression over there and the control over there. There's still some things that needs to be looked at. So he's still in the marriage and he has this ladder leaning up against the wall. And all he needs to do is clear up this playground and wash his hands, because now is the time. And then he can be able to crawl over. But remember, it's advised for him to crawl over, climb over the wall with integrity. The wall is called integrity. And you will wonder, well, he's been getting away with it all this time. Why he couldn't just climb over? Because that behavior will not work in a new place. See, everybody wants the card that says the world. But some things that's a part of us today is not needed in the new place. And there are some behaviors and some ways of us that needs to be lifted or cut, pruned, stripped for the new place. There's another way of doing things in a new place, and you can't bring that mess over there. You just can't. It doesn't fit. And not only it doesn't fit, you can jump over there and you'll get there and it'll bounce you and throw you right back over. And that brings us back to the moment with the side chick who kicked it with the husband, and the husband promised to leave, and then he gets ready to leave, and then he jumps over to the world and be with her in a new place, maybe about 90 days or less, and then he gets pushed right back over the wall because the new world and the new place will vomit you. It will vomit you out because you are bitter in this sweet place. So your new beginnings are new, sweet, flowing, and ready for you. And you have to make sure that you got what you need to make it over there. And you have to make sure that you don't have and you're not carrying anything that will cause you to be spit back over to your other life. And I know you're probably thinking, well, some people don't change fully when they go to their new world. And some people don't fully heal when they get to their new world. Maybe not. But I do know some people that is on the journey and on the process of healing. And their spirit is sensitive to being taught and sensitive to teaching. And I know they are open for their new beginning. So much. And it's so mushy and their heart is so vulnerable and available. And they're speaking this manifestation that once they touch and once they jump over to the new world and they touch it, some of those people end up being activated and they stay. What do I mean by activation? they come into contact with their new life, new world, destiny, purpose, or soulmate, physically, spiritually, within themselves. And it activates them, and they become one with it to a point where they cannot be spit back over to the other side because they were willing. So being willing is a very big part of life. And I don't know where the hell all this just came from, but that's what I had to do at the end. So, God bless you all. And this is what I have for them. I will talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.